Hello everyone. So today in this menu system series, we are going to work on how to apply graphics options. So here we already worked on, we have a way to change these either overall options, or we can change options one by one, have custom values. So here if I apply this, first three items low and everything else is cinematic, and if I apply and go back, quit the game. Now see, we have stopped the game, but if I load the game again, go to graphics options, you can see the settings that I have saved and applied is restored into the UI. So the applying the settings is working. So it's not just in the UI level, this is actually applying the settings to the game itself as well. So the quality is changing through this window. So and also we are going to implement this reset button as well, which resets all the settings to epic level. Yeah, so that's what we are going to work on today. And before we get started, let me remind you that you can download the project files of this project and all other thousands of projects I have done in my channel from the veteran page. And also here is the full playlist of this series. Everything is explained and implemented from scratch. Feel free to check it out. I'll leave links to everything in description below. Right, now let's get back to today's tutorial. Right, so this is what we have worked on so far. In regards to the graphics option, we can change this, and of course if I change any of these things, this becomes custom because everything is not the same now. So now the next step is implementing how to apply this and reset. So let's work on the apply. Let me go back and stop. Okay, so let me open the graphics options panel. And as this is a child of options panel widget, here let me implement a function first called apply and bind here, bind into this. So let me implement on clicked, and let's add a function apply. Let's just call it apply, and I don't need anything here, so I'll just call apply. Okay. Now let's go to this widget, the child widget, and override the apply function. Okay, now here all I want to do is applying or setting based on the value we have selected in these other options. Other options means all these things excluding the overall. But now that I think about this, maybe we would need a way to access the option value based on the actual option. That means, for example, here get graphics option value. Here we use this graphics option type to return values accordingly. Similarly, we would need to know what is the graphic option that we are going to apply when we apply all these other options. But the problem is this is an array and we don't store anywhere which option this is. We don't store this enumeration. Therefore, let me go to the references of this, and then here let's try something like this. Instead of this, I'll add a variable called options, and I'll change the type to graphics options, and then turn this into a map. And for the other the value variable in the map, I'll use WBP options option cycle. Okay, now here on the all options I'll add to the all options. So we should be able to remove this later on. And this is key is this and value is this, which comes from this created widget. And we should clear it. Yes, well, all options, because in case we called initialize options again, we need to clear everything. Okay, now we should be able to get rid of this part, this array, but I'll keep it for now. This is the other place where we using this. So here we can get options, get values, no, values, and this C is from the same type as this. So yeah, we can use this. Oh, but there is one small problem. There's going to be a small problem because this contains the overall value as well. So we might have to do something like this. Can get keys. Then we can run a for each loop. And if the key is not equal to overall, yeah, if it is not equal to overall, then we can, like this, we can use a find. Yeah, find using this key and update the selection. Now we don't need this. Okay. All right. Let's make sure if things are still working. Yeah, it is working. Everything is working fine. Okay, so now refresh this. Yeah, we don't need this anymore. So we delete that. Yeah. Okay. Now let me remove this as well. Nice. Let me check one more time. Just to make sure nothing is broken. Yeah, all good. Okay, now let's go back to applying. So to apply settings, now we have these all options. So here, get graphics option value, just like this. I'll implement a function to apply graphics option value as well. So let's implement it like this. We can run for each loop. Yeah. Oh, this is handy. I actually hadn't used this node before. I can access both at the same time. Maybe we should use this here too. Do I have to? Yeah, we can actually. Okay, so this simplifies things. Nice. All right. Let me check one more time. Now that I changed the code. Yeah, nice. All is good. Okay, now back to apply. Sorry about the distraction, but yeah, why shouldn't we when we see a better way, we should update it. Okay, I'll make sure that I call the parent function as well, even though I don't have anything at the moment. Maybe in future, if I had to add something in the parent apply function, it's better to have this to make it future proof. Okay, now let's run a switch on graphics option. And oh, maybe we don't need another function. We can just implement everything here within this apply as itself. So yeah, here we can. Now we can get user settings, get game user settings, and if it is overall, we can set overall scalability level and the value we can get. We would need a function. We don't have a function to get the current value. So let's go to the cycle button, option cycle, and here get selected index. Now option, no, not this option rotator, get selected, right? No, selected index, get selected index, and we can return this. Let's call it selected index. Now one thing is, if we have marked it as custom, we set this value. Oh no, we don't set it. So we need a way to know that we have a custom value. So we don't need to implement it here actually. So here I'll just return get selected index, and this is option data. Okay, here we have this update selection and mark as custom, and also we have this shift text next previous buttons as well. So yeah, here mark as custom. Let's add a boolean marked as custom. By default it should be false, but here I'll set it to true if we call it mark as custom. And here if I update the selection, I'll set marked as custom to false, and also here as well. because if we set using a button, it would always have a value, a valid value, not a custom value. All right, now here let's do a select and use this marked as custom. If it is true, I'll return -1, otherwise this. So for invalid index. Okay, now here from this button we can get selected. Oh, from this get selected index, and we don't need this. And if this is larger than -1, I'll use this. This looks ugly. This one. So that means this is a valid option. So actually, we should do this check before this select switch node, because otherwise I will have to do this multiple times for each of these out. So let me switch it. Put it here. The branch. Let's do the validity check here, and then we can apply it. So we can get the value like this. Should we have a local variable if we want to avoid dragging lines? Well, let's see. We don't have much. So the other option is global illumination. Set global illumination quality. This. And the other one, shadows. In the same way, I'll implement the rest of the function. Alright, so I implemented all the functions. So all these set functions, setters for each of these graphics settings. Okay, now I think this should work. Let's see. Fix. Let's set this first one to epic. Now let's set this to low, and this to medium, this to high, this to epic, and this to cinematic, so that we know. Apply, go back, come back, it's there. Let me stop and play again. Yeah, it's there. So it's set, and this is not correct. So it says option. So why does it say option? When I get the overall value, it has a negative, I guess. B. So thing we could do is, let's go to the option. cycle, and in the pre-construct, if the default selected index is minus, we can mark as custom right there. Or should we do it here? Oh no, we can't do it. It's a default function. Okay, so if this is larger than or equal to 0, okay, this path, otherwise as custom. Right, now let's see. See, it's custom because it's obviously is. So yeah, one more thing. What if I mark it as medium and apply and stop? Yeah, it's working. I just wanted to make sure that if this is not custom, the save system is already still working. So apply, hi, yeah, it's working. And reset. So how do we do reset? So I don't think we should have a separate episode on reset. Therefore, I'll do that here. Let's go to the parent and reset. Add on click and add a function reset, and I'll call it here. Okay, now here let's override it, reset. So I'll just let me just set the overall option, but I don't think just setting this would be enough. Set select update selection, yeah. So the default index, let's promote this to a variable, default overall index, maybe 3 for epic. Let's see. I don't think this would trigger everything. It would just change this. Let me go to low and reset. It didn't even change this. Why? Wait. This is something else. Reset. Okay, I guess there is another reset. List. Let's change these names. Apply options and reset options, so there are no any confusion. Okay, now it'll be fine. Let's see. Reset. Yeah, see, it only changes this. Okay, so that means change overall bias. Yeah. Okay, now it should work. Reset. See, it goes back to epic. Reset goes back to epic. If it is custom, reset still goes back to epic. Okay, so yeah, and of course appline is already working. So that's all I want to do in this episode. So thanks for watching. As always, updated project files will be available for download here in the Patreon page. Link would be in the description below. And let me know if you have any questions in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in another episode. Goodbye.